Don't stop dreaming. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't accomplish your dreams. Many times you can have dreams that are birthed inside of you, and people will come in and they'll tell you that that dream is too big. If it's your dream, guess what? It's your dream. Let me show you something. Could you believe that these two strange looking gadgets are part of one of my dreams? I'll tell you about that in just a minute. My name is Ron Williams. Welcome to the Ron Williams Fitness Channel, Natural Bodybuilder of the Decade, Natural Mr. Universe, Natural Mr. World, Natural Mr. Olympia, also inducted into the Natural Bodybuilders Hall of Fame. I want to tell you about a dream that I had after competing in bodybuilding for years and years and years. I completed all of my dreams and all of my goals after being told you can never do it. So for 30 years I competed and won over 21 world championships. Some of them I don't even count. The three that matter most are the Mr. Universe, Mr. World, Mr. Olympia. You'd be surprised to realize that I went to Canada and won the Canadian Championship, and I'm not even Canadian. I think that's really, really funny. But let me tell you about these two gadgets. There was some years ago, probably about 6 or 7 years ago, I was sitting on the side of my bed and I prayed about developing a piece of exercise equipment for myself, because me and my wife, we travel extensively now. We speak at a lot of different places. We're also local pastors of a church. And in my travels, we were missing workouts. And once you miss 1 or 2 workouts, it's easy to miss the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th workout. So what happened was I was sitting on the side of my bed. I said, God, I want to stay in good shape. Here I am helping other people, and I'm letting my own fitness go. And every time you go to a new city, you have to first find a gym, then you have to purchase a pass to that gym, and sometimes it's $20 to $30 a day. And if I could have my own fitness program, do whatever my business is, work out in my room for a half hour to an hour, then I would never fall off that regimen. So as I was sitting there, I saw this movement in my mind. And I saw myself doing this movement, and I saw the resistance, and I saw me building my chest and my muscles. One thing with bodybuilding is not about how big you can get your body, but how well balanced you can get your body and how defined and shapely you can get your body. I knew I would never be the biggest bodybuilder, but when I started, I had some definite weaknesses that I needed to balance out. And one of those weaknesses was my chest. And so I did a lot of studying about how to build your chest. And along the way in my studies, I found out that there are great similarities between your body, my body, and a bird's body. Now, you might not believe this, but you have a bird chest. What I mean by that is the bird has the same ball in the socket. He has the same humerus bone here. He has the same ulna and radius here. And it connects, the chest connects to that humerus, and it connects to the clavicle and the sternum, just like yours. And a bird flies in a motion like this, and that motion that he's flying in helps to build his chest, and it helps to protect that whole joint structure, because if he loses the ability to fly, he loses his life. And so in knowing that, I pictured that motion that a bird flies in, and I also pictured the strongest movement that we can do as humans for our chest. And so we named that position, boom, the power position. But a bird completes the motion. He pushes, and then, he completes that motion. So I had my wife go into the internet and find me some linear bearings. That's what these are, 2 of them. Now this was my dream. Remember this was my dream. And so I have 2 of these linear bearings, and I'm holding each one in my hands, and I'm pushing them together. I'm pushing them together, feeling this motion. And I'm visualizing what I could do with this motion and develop a piece of equipment that not only would work my chest, but put together a program that would work my entire body. And I showed it to a few people, the idea, and they said, you know what? That's an okay idea. I don't know that I would put too much money into that. And this thing burned inside, and I didn't let them steal my dream. Just like with bodybuilding, people discouraged me and told me, you can't do it, you're wasting your time. But something inside said, no, you can develop this piece of equipment and it'll work. And so I went through this whole process, and after I did this, I took it to the second stage. And I want to show you what the second stage looks like. First thing, I had my wife order these linear bearings from the internet. I knew that the movement that I was looking for this program, it had to be an extremely smooth movement. These linear bearings doesn't look like much, very, very expensive. Not exactly what I need to actually produce this piece of equipment, but it was what I needed to get a start and to finish the thought process. This is just the evolution. So that was the first one. Now the second one, we went to Home Depot and we picked out some aluminum. We wanted it extremely light. By the way, we called this the Hummer version. But we ordered these linear bearings that you see on the bottom. You can't find a smoother movement or motion than that. We went to another store where we purchased the springs. I have a friend that actually builds airplanes. And what he did is I had him weld some aluminum together to help me make these handles. Once we got the handles made, we found the power position where the body is the strongest, the 90-degree angle with the elbow. We place little stoppers here, specifically for me. These stoppers can be moved in or out, depending on who's using it. But this is made specifically for me. I knew that it had to have an amount of resistance. So as I was able to squeeze, that represents the bird in flight. And a bird, as he's flying, he's got resistance from this position all the way through. So in just doing the push-up motion, that's great. But when I bring my hands in, I need resistance, almost like you would get in a cable crossover, but with a cable crossover, the resistance is coming from behind you. This is direct lateral pressure. So in knowing that I had to have this, we applied the springs to this particular piece of equipment. But better than springs, because these will wear out fairly quickly. Even though they're specialty springs, they'll wear out fairly quickly within 6-8 months. I knew that some of the best therapeutic resistance training that you can actually get is with resistance bands. So eventually we graduate to using resistance bands. And as I'm developing this, in my mind, I'm getting negative feedback from different places. Some of it, sheer jealousy. Some of it, people just didn't believe in their own dreams, and they don't believe that dreams can be made a reality. So they didn't want me to get discouraged. And when the doors were shutting in my face, I just knock on another door. And I just kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing. Then we went to the next evolution, which is this thing, and it's probably, you could use this for arm curls, it's so heavy. But it's very sturdy, very effective, and it works. Again, we have the springs, but a lot less expensive to produce. We put together a class using this because after we got to this point, people would see me working out on the track. I do a lot of my training outside, working out on the track or somewhere in a park. Some people would say, hey, what is that? And I said, go ahead and try it. After they used it, they said, wow, that is awesome. So I thought, originally I made this for me. I made it for my own fitness level, and I saw it work in me. So I started using it and allowing other people to use it. They loved it so much. I said, you know, what could we do to actually reproduce this? What would that cost? it takes this dream to a whole new level now. So we ended up with an engineer, and we took this into his office, and we said, we want you to take a look at this, and this is what we want to develop. And they said, this is your prototype? I said, absolutely. They said, we've never seen a prototype so complete that we have no more work to do, really. All we need to do is put a design on it. Normally when you engineer a piece of equipment, you have a thought in your mind, and you take that thought and a piece of paper and you say, this is what I want. And they take your thought and whatever you have drawn on that piece of paper, and they produce it and say, is this it? And you say, yeah, but I want it a little bit different, and then they make it a little bit different. This was one of the first completed prototypes that they had ever seen. And I told him I wanted resistance bands. You're gonna love this. This was the next evolution. When I saw this, I was like a little kid on Christmas morning. He showed this to me. I mean, the colors. My favorite color is red. My favorite color is red, and red and black. I mean, that was just exactly what I needed. And again, we have the resistance bands, and it gives you a full range of motion throughout the use of it. But this is, again, you could use this one for arm curls. You like that? Iron Chest Master. Now there's a small joke, and I'll tell you about that later. But I'll just let you in on a little bit of it. Iron represents Iron. Iron, and the guy who's shooting this video, he's Levi. He's Levi, but Iron. Okay, the next evolution, we found ourselves in China searching for a manufacturer, somebody that we could trust with our baby. It took all of this to bring this dream to fruition. 7 long years and more than $70,000, $80,000. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because I don't want you to give up on your dreams. If you have a dream, there's a way that you can bring it to pass. You just can't quit, you just can't give up. Now, does this mean that I stopped dreaming because I've reached this point? No, I've got lots of dreams, lots of big dreams. And this was only one dream that allowed me to see that the other dreams, they're possible as well. My first dream was to get out of the ghetto. My second dream was to be one of the best natural bodybuilders in the world when it seemed like it was impossible. This was also a dream, and I have about 10 more dreams that I have in front of me, and hopefully we can enjoy this journey together. If you like this video, and if it inspired you, if it encouraged you to follow your dream, I want you to do something for me. I want you to give me a thumbs up. I want you to share this video with all your friends and family. And I also want you to subscribe. But most of all, don't stop dreaming. And a little more than that, bring those dreams to pass. God bless you until next time.